Thank you for joining me. I'm Juan, lead trader and founder of Prosperity Trade. In this video, I'm going to discuss precise entry, how to find the best time to enter a trade when it's starting to reverse, when momentum is shifting. You're going to want to watch this video. So finding the perfect entry is one of the most difficult things for new traders. You want to make sure you're jumping in when the stock is reversing to the upside if you're going long, and to the downside if you're going short. But finding that entry is the challenge. So a few things. First, you want to trade a stock that has volume. That's the first thing, and more volume than average than it usually has, because you need that momentum, you need that movement. So looking at the bars and finding the average over time and just making sure that you're trading at a time that it has extra volume. If you look at this pre-market, there's barely no volume, and you see the stock is just on a downtrend. And as soon as there's volume in here, there's movement and volatility in the stock. So that's the first condition. You want to trade something that has volume. Then you want to find what indicators work for you. A lot of these indicators by themselves aren't going to be as useful. And there's some school of thoughts where people don't even like using indicators. They just mainly use VWAP and price action and level 2. I don't mind using just price action and VWAP and level 2 in trading. I've been trading long enough, but I do have other indicators just in case I have some doubt, I have some reassurance, and I'll look at multiple indicators. And if I feel that it's still bullish after I look at those indicators and the stock is reversing, it'll help me make my decision. So I'm going to go over a few indicators that I use in order to identify stocks that are starting to reverse. So we have here Tesla, and this is just from yesterday. Tesla traded, ran down on the downside, and it bounced in one of my preset indicators. These are like weekly reversals or monthly pivot points. Like if you go back to the chart long enough, these dotted lines are areas where it's found support in the past. So I would look at Tesla, I would see that it bounced off of this, but it didn't break the VWAP and then came down close to it. So the first indicator that I like to look at, the TTM Squeeze. So the TTM Squeeze is a volatility and a momentum indicator. It was introduced by John Carter of Trade the Markets. He's now with Simpler Trading, and it capitalizes on the tendency for price to break out strongly after consolidating in a tight trading range. So what's the consolidation look like? Anytime you see a bunch of red dots in a row, usually it's like a MACD press. It's like a squeeze. The stock is squeezing. It's building up buyers and sellers. And after you see red consolidation like this, you want to see a green dot with the first blue line upwards. So we saw red here. We saw a bunch of green dots. On this one here, we saw our first blue line. So now if I was 50-50, okay, I say, because this just by itself, it probably has about a 40% success rate. So I want other things that are going to help me confirm that this is a buy. So the first thing I look at, okay, where is it at? It's above the VWAP. Okay, that's helping my case. That just added to the percentage of me being more confident that this is going to go in an uptrend. And then if we look at the 5-minute chart, this is the same area and it's on an uptrend according to the stochastic. That's another positive thing. On the MACD, it's on an uptrend. That's another positive thing. And on this one, it's a buy rating with another indicator that we'll get into. After that, it's a buy. And it's also above this smooth indicator. So all these things on this bar here, we're green in the TTM Squeeze. We have a blue line upwards. We're above the VWAP. And on the 5-minute chart, it's also confirming it's above this yellow line. Stochastic, it's uptrending. MACD is uptrending. I'm getting in on this bar. So if I would get in here, 1,077, I would probably have a 2-to-1 stop loss, like trying to get $2 for one. At $2 profit, I would probably take partial profit and then let it ride until I feel that it's starting to reverse. The best thing to do is take partial profit, so you're already in the green, because these things can bounce up and then they could crash. So if you're already in the green and you already have profit, you have more confidence holding it longer. So if we look at, for example, you can get out at the first, like darker blue than lighter. So a lighter green here shows that it's an uptrend. Darker, it shows that it may be reversing. So you could have gotten out on the first red one here, and here it would still been bullish, or You could wait for this first yellow, and this yellow here would be here. So it'd be a little bit, you know, obviously lower than here. This is another area where it might start reversing, but you saw pretty much Tesla was bullish the whole day. And here we had a sell signal. So that might be something that, you know, you would have probably gotten out. But I think for sure, for me personally, I probably would have gotten out once this dark line first formed, which would have been great. Excellent area to get out on. So let's just pull up any other stock just to show one more time. So let's say NVIDIA. Okay, so NVIDIA here, we have 1, 2, 3 red dots. This is the first green with the blue line up, and it's above the VWAP. On the other side here, same area. On the stochastic, it's starting to uptrend. The next one here says buy. And on the MACD, it's still a little early, but it's starting to uptrend. And it's also above this moving average. So I would say, yeah, buy here. On this first one, buy here, get in at 312. Probably take profit at 313, 314, and just let the rest ride out. So here, if you followed the same Tesla strategy and you got out at the first darker line, that would be here, 316. So potential 313 to 316, which would be excellent. But again, for me, my strategy, I like to, as soon as it goes up 1 point, I like to take some off the table. So that way I'm already in the green. And if it flushes, because these things can always flush, then, you know, at least I'm in the green already. So let's talk about how to set these up, these indicators here. So the TTM Squeeze, these are all free on TradeView. Now, you do have to pay if you want to put more than a certain amount of indicators. I don't remember the exact amount. And I don't have an affiliate with TradeView. So this is just something that I do use myself. So the TTM Squeeze, you would just go here. TTM Squeeze is right here. It's set up. You can change these bars. I like to change them to yellow. And you see they get darker and lighter here. So the only thing I would do is, you know, if you're comfortable with the purple, that's fine. But I just usually change these to yellow. And that's it. So that's the TTM Squeeze. So the TTM Squeeze is a volatility and momentum indicator. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking to see where the volatility is going, where the momentum is going, if it's reversing. And then we have just, you know, the VWAP. It's a simple indicator. You just type in VWAP. Now, when you put VWAP, it's going to give you those 3 lines. So for me, I take off the upper band, lower band, bands fill, and just leave VWAP. And I like it orange for myself. Okay, so on this side, this is the 5-minute chart. First one I put is MACD. MACD is right here. And you set it up. So as is here, ready to go. 12.26.9 is the one I have set. 12.26.9, same thing. Nothing's changed. You just type in MACD and you're good to go. Same thing for stochastic RSI. Go to indicator. Type in stochastic RSI. Click on it. And you're good to go. Now for this yellow line here, this is the 0 lag exponential moving average. We type 0. So this yellow line here is the 0 lag exponential moving average. And you could just type in ZLSMA. And here we have the 0 lag exponential moving average. And nothing's changed here. I have it here. And for these buy sell signals, go to indicator, chandelier exit, and you type this one here by Everget. Now you see here it's off like by the one I have here. You do have to adapt it. So I put for the ATR period, I put 1 ATR multiplier 1.85. So you click on your thing, go here, go 1.85. Then I take off highlight state. I take off use close price. And then for style, I take off long stop, take all these off. The only thing I leave is buy label, which I put below bar, and sell label, which I put above bar. And now you see it's it's matching the one I have here. So those are the indicators I use. And we could do one more. Let's do MMM. So we had here red consolidation, green, but with yellow, green with yellow. Our first green here. Okay, now this is where you can go 50-50, right? Because it's all the way here, 178.06. On this side, it's bullish. Stochastic's going up. MACD's crossing up. The next one's a buy signal. But on this side, it's not above the VWAP. So, you know, this will be a 50-50 risk, right? You lessen your chances of probability because you're not above the VWAP. If you got in here, though, above a VWAP 178, okay, you still had potential to make profits. See, 178, and it went up to a high of 179. So again, so if you got in here, it's still bullish. If you follow the rule of taking $1 off the table, 179, this trade may have not worked because you're waiting for that dollar and then it pulled back and it didn't work out on this one. So you see here, that's the limitation. You know, that's why you always want to take profit as soon as you have 1 point. But this one would have not worked out all the way. You probably, if you would have gotten here, you probably would have gotten stopped out. So having your stop out is very important. You know, like here, as soon as it turned dark here, it turned dark early. So you probably would have got out most of your position. So you got in here at 178 and here at 178.98, 50 cents only. It started to go darker already. So you probably would want to take some off the table once these switch to dark because they can maybe be changing momentum. Let's see Apple here. And also, like, a lot of times these things work out better early on, like the first hour. So here, let's see here. Okay, here we have red, 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 green with yellow, then red, 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 red. On this candle here, we had our first green with blue line. We're just above the VWAP. And on this side, we're above the yellow line here. The stochastic is RSI is moving up. MACD is crossing over. So this is definitely a good buy here at this point here. So you get in at 160.44 and here at 160.89. You probably want to take some off the table because it turned dark. And then here it bounced off the VWAP and it went all the way up to 161. So this would have been a good trade. And that's why it's important to have some rules and stop losses. So that was just a quick video, some of the indicators that I use. Remember, there's conditions to these things. A lot of the times the smaller caps, they're very wild. This is better for like large cap stocks and nothing's going to be 100%. But if you follow your rules and you have more things in your favor, it increases your chance of being successful. So these are some of the indicators I use. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, comment, and like, and see you on the next video.